Here's more from, I believe, we may stay on the roll here, back to Cuba. And Barack Obama now apologizing to Cuba for the way we have exerted control over the island paradise.
Havana is only 90 miles from Florida, but to get here we had to travel a great distance over barriers of history and ideology, barriers of pain and separation. The blue waters beneath Air Force One once carried American battleships to this island to liberate, but also to exert control over Cuba. The Cuban Revolution took place the same year that my father came to the United States from Kenya. The Bay of Pigs took place the year that I was born. One constant was the conflict between the United States and Cuba.
What does that have to do with anything?
Here to bury the last remnant of the Cold War in the Americas.
What does the fact that he was born the year of the Bay of Pigs got to do with anything? But did you see this? Cuba is what it is. It's this backwards sewer of a place because of us. Because of us and our battleships. Because of us and our authoritarianism. Because of us and our exertion of control. Because of us. And now we must acknowledge this. We must agree that we are to blame. Exactly what the Castros want everybody to believe. And not quite through, was he? Let's now hear about the similarities between the United States and Cuba.
Because in many ways, the United States and Cuba are like two brothers who've been estranged for many years. Even as we share the same blood. We both live in a new world, colonized by Europeans.
There you go.
Cuba, like the United States, was built in part by slaves brought here from Africa. Like the United States, the Cuban people can trace their heritage to both slaves and slave owners.
Does anybody still want to try to tell me I'm wrong here about who this guy is and what it is that informs him and motivates him? Can anybody deny this guy is walking around with a giant chip on his shoulder about this country's very existence from the days of its founding? Castro's Cuba is a communist dungeon. It is an economic, political, human disaster. And we have just heard about all the similarities and the moral equivalence and how the same bunch of reprobates that settled Cuba settled the United States. The same bunch of racist pigs, the same bunch of slave owners and slave traders. The same bunch of colonizers, colonialists, founded both countries. That's why we are no better than they are. That's just sick, folks. It's just terribly sad. We'll be back.